Good morning, Calvary. My name is Vismaya, and I go to Rock Canyon High School, and I'm a senior graduating this year. Walking into high school that first day freshman year, I had no idea what to expect. High school was a 500-piece puzzle, and I didn't know how to put it together. My 4-year journey started in the form of a confused freshman trying to find the right classes. As days went by sorting that out, making new friends and exploring newfound passions, time started blowing past me. Soon enough, it was sophomore year, then junior year, and before I knew it, I was a senior. I've realized that time doesn't stop for anyone. It ticks by, and I, unknowingly, let it slip right through my fingers. But I did try to make the most of what I could these last 4 years. The only piece of advice I would impart to my freshman self is manage your time well, right from the beginning. I remember in 9th grade how I took one college class and a few honors courses. Somehow I still felt swamped. It felt like I had very little time to allocate elsewhere, no matter how I organized myself. But it's a process, we all know. I've grown through high school in not only an intellectual way, but also in a very social and worldly way. This year, I've been able to juggle much more than I could in the beginning, and I'm proud to say I've become a much more efficient person, and it's created more time for me. Not only am I able to pursue the academics that I'm interested in, but also the clubs and community service that I love devoting my time to. The Calvary community has played an integral part of my journey through the last 15 years. Moving to Denver as an immigrant so long ago, my family was apprehensive as to finding our own niche. That's when Miss Emily Clark came knocking on our door, asking us to join such a wonderful family. We attended a few services at the church and realized that it was the place for me, and us. I cherished memories of singing in the carol choir, and upwards from there. Attending Sunday school and creative time when I was younger really helped me find a comforting place right within the community of elders, mentors, and peers. I'd like to thank each and every person here who supported me in even the smallest of ways. Just as this congregation welcomed my family and I with open arms so many years ago, I want to move forward in my life with open arms. I've completed my 500-piece high school puzzle now, but in a few short months, life is going to take my masterpiece away and hand me something different, something new, another puzzle, I guess, but this one is 1,000 pieces instead, and it's labeled college. I'll be a freshman yet again, but this time I do have something that I didn't have previously, and that's experience. It's time to move into a new chapter of life with open arms, and I hope to make the best of everything I've learned so far. Thank you.
Morning. My name is Bonnie, and I am graduating from Overland High School. So, before and during high school, I've always heard people say to me to get involved in all you can. I never really thought of it much, I guess because I always thought that I didn't have time or that I was already involved in what I wanted to be. Until finally, going into my senior year, I told myself that I wasn't going to be doing the same boring routine anymore. So I decided to broaden myself and take on whatever opportunity came up. I had done exactly that by joining the school's automotive club, being the co-founder of my school's first ever yoga club, auditioning for every possible opportunity, including Colorado All-State Choir, and my favorite, working the sidelines at home football games with two of the best teachers, David and Debbie LaCour. If only I had considered doing this since my freshman year, who knows what else I could have accomplished, or the people I could have met. In all, I've had by far the funnest year. If I had to choose one word to describe my senior year, it would be eventful, because of all the variety of moments that have occurred. I would have it no other way, even if those moments were good and bad. And let's not forget all of the summer trips that I've taken. Quest in Wisconsin, DC with Immerse, Anchorage, Alaska, and Monument Valley, Utah, which happened to be the best times of my life, and I will never forget them. As well as all of the moments created and laughs we shared. And all of this is because of the people that I have to thank, beginning with my family, whom has always loved and supported me throughout my entire life. My mother, who has been there for me through thick and thin, through all the breakups, celebrations, and crazy tickle fights. My father, whom I have always shared a special bond with, through all of the little things that we do, such as taking walks at the park, repairing my car, cooking dinner, and just recently getting into the Andy Griffith Show, which we would watch practically every night. And my brothers, who have guided me through all the years of schooling by warning me about certain teachers and classes, and who I could always rely on to be my big brothers. Thank you to all my teachers at Overland, especially my choir teacher, Martin Jacob, who was the first one to inspire me to pursue my passion in music. And thank you to those teachers who guided me through the passion, Karen Bishop, who taught me how to play the piano, and voice teachers, Jessica Fisher, Emily Cryle, and Callie Sheldon. And let's not forget my family here at Calvary. From all of the youth leaders, Doug Crane, Kathy O'Brien, Linda and Gordon Pelton, Tim and Lee Betsy, Denise Wild, Joe Greenmore, and Morgan Crothers, who I know will do wonderful things with this youth group. And to all of those who have seen me grow up these past 17 years, to all of my friends at school and here in the youth group, and to all the friends I've met along the way during summer youth trips. And thank you especially to those who thought that I would never make it, for if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't feel the need to prove you wrong. Lastly, I must thank the Lord above, who has blessed me with all of you and so many chances of peace and happiness. Thank you to all of you who never stopped inspiring me to be me. I miss each of you so dearly, and I will take everything I have learned from you with me and put it into each moment of my life. This isn't the end, because I know that no matter how far life takes me, I will always remember my home and my family. Thank you for everything. God bless and peace be with you.
All right. Good morning. My name is Derek Michelle, and I'm graduating from Mountain Vista High School. All right, so throughout these 13 years of being a student, I have learned a great amount of knowledge. I can safely say that 90% of that I'll never ever use again. But one thing is for sure, the things that I've learned from here at Calvary Baptist Church, I will carry with me the rest of my life. So I'll start off with music, the main thing that, the main lesson I learned. The first person that really brought me into music was my mother when I was first a little boy. She was the choir director for the little kids, and she really brought me into my own with music. And then I started getting higher up, and I went to Charlotte Million at Spiritual Element. She really introduced spirituality through music and brought out the true beauty of music. It inspired the true connection between God and music, and it really, really brought me into the passion I have for music today. And then it goes to Emily. She invoked confidence into getting in front of crowds with the variety shows I did with Jared and with Jordan and Hannah. And then the USO dinner we most recently did with the duet Jared and I did. So it was a lot of fun, but she really invoked a sense to get in front of crowds, and I can really appreciate that. She gave me comfort through music in terms of person I can come to with anything, and the soothing worship music she had us sing in front of service. This all inspired me to make music a hobby and never forget the connection I have with music. Another massive thing I learned is the importance of community and being kind to others. A main way I learned this is through mission trips. So the first mission trip I ever went on was Quest, and though some of you might know that I came up and talked about it when I came back. So Joe led us through this, and I really got a really close connection through God. And it really, from that experience, it caused me to really get into more mission trips. So I went on every single one up until this next year. Like, I'm going on my last one this year. So I became very close to my fellow youth members and also with the adults. So that familiarity also drove me to go on to more mission trips. The next big trip I went on was a second trip to going to Green Lake. And though it was the hardest one to go on, considering I learned some pretty devastating news about my mother, I luckily had some very, very incredible people that I could lean on. And it really, it taught me that I can go to these people with anything, and that in the future, if such tragedy or such happiness or such anything else in my life happens, I can safely go to them with anything. So I'm very, very grateful of that. So the one after that, we went to Alaska, and that was an amazing, amazing trip. I've never seen a more beautiful state. I've never been. We helped clean up the facilities there. We helped renovate certain, I helped renovate an ice rink to make, I think, a basketball court that is now. It taught me I really enjoyed doing that kind of work in terms of renovating, building, rebuilding, and cleaning. So, and it made me feel extremely accomplished seeing the end product and seeing the smiles on the people's faces and the kids' faces. And then lastly, the last trip I went on was Utah. And this was probably one of my favorite lesson I learned. It taught me that happiness is not determined by material objects. Like, you could have dirt, nothing, like what I went to, and you could still be the happiest family I've ever seen. So it taught me that no matter how poor, no matter how little I have or whatever, I can still find happiness in the small things. So to conclude, there's much more that I learned than just through music, than just through mission trips, of all the teachers I had through Sunday school, of all the teachers I've had, just by talking to all of you. You guys are all amazing, interesting people, and I wouldn't trade any connections or any knowledge I learned from any of y'all with anything in the entire world. So thank you very much.
All right, well, I'm going to give you another refreshing good morning, Calvary, since you've heard it already. So, good morning, Calvary. My name is Jared Leonard, and I will be graduating from Heritage High School. Looking around right now, I see numerous faces that have given me the strength and opportunity to learn more about the Lord and continue my journey of faith. And for that, I am forever grateful. It's crazy to think that, although it's a cliche, that it feels like yesterday that the Michelles and the Bennetts and the Robins and myself ran around this church like little hooligans, creating a ruckus, whatnot. So through this church, I used to sit on these vibrant red steps and raise my hand and say some ridiculous answer, to get attention when, now I'm standing here thanking you guys for your support. One thing I wish someone would have told me before high school began was that nothing lasts forever. Things change, people come and go, and you can never take anything for granted. If an opportunity is available, take that opportunity. Seize the day and live in the moment. The past 4 years have been tremendous for, high school here and there, sports teams, dances, various trips, and it's very, very hard to know that this is about to end and change, but future is good. Change is good. The seniors that have stood before you today and will stand have been together for the past 18 years, at least most of us, I believe. And that's amazing. I wouldn't change these kids for anyone in the world. They're great people. We can't predict the future or dwell in the past, so I think we should enjoy what God has given us. Now, something I will be taking away from this amazing Calvary Baptist Church community is that we must cherish those around us and hold them dear. Those teachers we know, Dave and Janine, all of the Bessies, musical leaders, Kelly, Nancy, Charlotte, and Emily, youth leadership from when I was a young kid, Carla, Joe, Doug and Kathy, Denise, and now Morgan. All of these great people have given me a chance to grow in my faith and develop as a young man. I apologize, and I know I've missed faces and people, but I haven't missed you or forgotten about you. You all mean the world to me, very special to me. Again, thank you to the members of this church community, my family, and all who have seen my journey in the process, and I'm hopeful and humble to take on this new chapter. I will always know that I have a home here and a big family, and I thank you for the support, and it means the world, so thank you.
Hello, My name is Heather Michelle, and I will be graduating from Mountain Vista High School. Let me pull up my thing. Hold on. Okay. So, Calvary has been one of the biggest support systems in my life, and I'm truly grateful for that. Throughout this high school career, I have gone through some crazy twists and turns, and I'm thankful that everybody, not only the youth leaders, but also the youth, has been there for me. One thing that I would tell incoming high schoolers and the youth now is to embrace individuality. Take what you have and embrace it. Don't try to change for anybody or anything. Don't give in to fads. Don't give in to those you admire. Take what makes you individual and grow on it. Build on it. Build on friends that make you feel special, that help you grow as a person. Don't be around people who build you down, break you down. Don't be afraid to try new things. Don't be afraid to cry. Don't be afraid to be mad. Embrace those emotions, and then in that you will find joy and happiness and adventure. Don't be afraid to be alone, because in those times of being alone, you truly figure out who you are. And in Calvary, being alone was never an issue. I always have friendly faces greeting me at the door, greeting me after church. I always have little red kisses on my cheeks. I have perfume on me. Oh, it's great. Best thing. I'm grateful for all of the leaders that make me laugh, who encourage me to be the person I am today. I'm grateful for the ones who challenge my patience when those times, when I was younger, when I would be wild and reckless and they'd sit down, pay attention. But in those times, I did grow patience, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for everybody who has influenced me and has taught me who God is. And I will be taking all of your knowledge and your wisdom with me throughout college. And I won't forget any one of you. And I'm truly grateful for the time I've spent here. Thank you.
Good morning, my name is Rebecca Bennett, though most of you know me as Becky, and I will be graduating from Denver School of the Arts as a vocal music major. As you could probably tell, Pastor Morgan asked us to answer 2 questions, the first being advice we would give to an incoming freshman, and the second being a lesson Calvary has taught us. I'm going to start with the lesson Calvary has taught us. Going on mission trips to Alaska and Washington, D.C. has been an incredible experience. Every trip, I meet new people that impact my life in a special way. My most recent trip to Utah was life-changing, and I wrote about this trip for my college entrance essay, so I'm going to read a little snippet of it. I remember stepping out of the van. My back ached and my legs hurt. It was a 2-hour drive on a narrow dirt road, and it was horrible. I remember smelling the dirty, dusty ground and all of the horses around the outside of the house as I squished my tired toes into the red sand. I also remember the beautiful sculptures around me. They were red and vibrant, and I could tell God had graced his fingertips over the rocks that shot up. We were in Monument Valley, Utah, and it was gorgeous. However, the house we pulled up to was anything but gorgeous. It was a rusty old shack with no door, no running water, and an outhouse about a mile away. I was also with a new group of people away from Calvary's youth group, and it was a little scary. Our mission for the week was to fix up the house. It was hard work. The hot sun beat down on all of us for 6 hours every day. By the end of each day, we were all complaining, taking longer breaks, and getting impatient. We wanted to go home. The house we were fixing up was owned by Karen. She was part of the Navajo tribe, and she had 5 children. Every time we pulled up to the house, she would greet us with a big smile and do the same as we departed. I did not understand her grin. The smile she held for so long did not come close to matching the emotion I was sure she felt. After all, she lived in a tiny house and hardly had any money. I could also tell she was worn down from the calluses dug into her hands and the black markings under her eyes. But I was wrong. On the 4th day of our work, we were packing up and begging to leave so we could finally enjoy cool air conditioning on our drenched foreheads. Right before we left, Karen ran out and welcomed us into her home. She had made Navajo tacos, fruit salad, and drinks. I did not know what to say. We had a huge meal in front of us, and Karen began saying that she did not know how to thank us, but hoped this meal would suffice. It was beautiful. Karen reminded us of Acts 20:35, "In all things I have shown you that by working hard in this way, we must help the weak and remember the words of Lord Jesus, how he himself said, 'It is more blessed to give than to receive.'" In that moment, I realized that these Navajo tacos and spoken words of the Lord were more important than any of the work I had done that whole week or on my previous trips. Karen thanked us with all she had, and I felt so blessed. The last day, with Acts 20:35 engraved in my mind, I worked my hardest. My feet hurt, my hands were calloused, my forehead was drenched, and it felt great. I think the greatest lesson I have learned from Calvary is to do everything for others, and more importantly, for God. Luke 6:38 says, "Give and you shall receive." Well, this holds true. Calvary has taught me how important it is to give up our gifts, time, and talents for others to do God's work. This transitions me to the next question, which was a piece of advice I would give to a freshman. Rather, a piece of advice I would give to all of you. I say get involved. Join choir, join prom committee, create a club, play in a band, start a school youth group, go to church and volunteer. Go on mission trips and make a difference in others' lives, because I promise it will in turn change your life. Next year, I will be attending Wartburg College, a small Lutheran college in Waverly, Iowa, and I will major in elementary education, focusing in music and Christian day school education. I will, of course, continue singing and continue building my faith with God. I also hope to lead an international service project sometime during college, something that the college offers students to do. One last note I would like to leave you with is a thank you from my senior recital program. And to any of you in here who came to my senior recital or who have supported me throughout all of my musical theater shows or concerts over the years, I'm truly grateful. I wrote, Calvary Baptist Church family, it is crazy how time flies. One moment I'm in preschool, the next I'm getting baptized, and now I'm graduating high school. It's incredible how strong my support system at Calvary is, and I can never thank you enough for supporting me, praying for me, and loving me. Thank you to all of my past music directors, Kelly, Nancy, Charlotte, Kevin, and Emily, my youth leaders, my pastors, my beautiful family, and my lifelong friends. Calvary has helped me grow into who I am today, and I could not be more grateful. Thank you.